You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for joining us this Wednesday. I'm Ann Makovic. Here is a look at some of our news headlines this morning. Breaking news from Georgia, where officials say at least 5 soldiers have been shot at Fort Stewart Army Base. A suspect is in custody. He calls for an active shooter came in just before 8 a.m. and the fort was locked down. The injured soldiers have been rushed to the hospital. We have not gotten an update yet on their conditions. Today, President Trump and Apple expected to announce a new $100 billion commitment to boost manufacturing in the U.S. The president expected to make that announcement at the White House this afternoon alongside Apple CEO Tim Cook. It is expected to include a new American manufacturing program focused on bringing more of Apple's supply chain and advanced manufacturing here to the U.S. That is a big push by the Trump administration, which threatened to impose a 25% tariff on iPhones made outside the U.S. back in May. 2 women under arrest after a man was killed outside of a bar in San Jose last month. Police say 22-year-old Raymond Orozco was stabbed. They found him on South 2nd Street in between San Jose State and Plaza de Cesar Chavez. He was brought to the hospital. That is where he died. Now, police say 20-year-old Mercedes Rosales is responsible for his murder, and 18-year-old Michaela Vaughn was an accessory. They are both from San Jose. Police have not mentioned a motive. Deadly car crash shut down part of Highway 13 near Oakland early this morning. Officials say that car crashed into a tree and then caught fire at around 3 a.m. That shut down lanes for several hours. No word yet on what caused the crash nor how many people were involved. In the North Bay, city workers in Novato are on strike for the 2nd day in a row. Yesterday, workers were outside Novato City Hall. Street maintenance workers, building inspectors, and park and rec staff are demanding better salaries and help with staffing shortages. The union members say information on the city's own website proves Novato has the money to pay them more. From revenue generated by Measure M, that is an increase in sales tax that voters approved in November.
I've had a few coworkers that have actually left to other jurisdictions. When they live here in the city, they've gone to other neighboring jurisdictions because they pay higher. I see the kind of rotating door all the time, and it's just, Novato unfortunately has kind of, gained that reputation.
Well, the city says their labor negotiation team has offered 11% raises over 3 years for all employees, with 24% for some. But they say the union decided to strike instead of continuing negotiations. All right, it is warm and sunny around much of the Bay Area. Let's get a check on our first alert forecast with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Warm weather for this Wednesday forecast. That's the trend widespread throughout the Bay Area today. I mean, look at Antioch this afternoon. 97 degrees as high pressure moves in. It's warming us up. It's drying us up. We're going to see sunny skies widespread throughout the Bay today. Even places like Half Moon Bay, 66 degrees. We're starting to see a little bit of a warm up along the coast too. Now, Santa Rosa this afternoon sitting in the 90s. We have a trickle 90s and 80s widespread throughout the North Bay, but it's a little bit cooler for us off along the coast and off along the peninsula. Mid 80s today into the peninsula, closer to Redwood City, upper 80s all the way down into San Jose, 91 this afternoon in Los Gatos. So all of us throughout the past month, at least in July, we're sitting either at average or below average throughout most of the month, but now we're starting to see this warm up as high pressure builds in. It's also the reason why, for the most part, we're seeing sunny skies. We'll see some passing clouds this afternoon, but for the most part, it's dry, it's warm, relative humidity is low too. And we're starting to see some winds kick up a little bit more into the afternoon hours today, up to around 20, 25 miles per hour in places like San Francisco into the evening hours tonight. A little bit lighter for our friends off into the Santa Clara Valley, the Tri-Valley area, and along the Delta too. So a few days ago, we were dealing with some stronger winds. Now, when you factor strong winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures together, of course, fire weather conditions could be a concern. So right now, we're just keeping a close eye on that, especially as this heat sticks around for the next couple days. The Climate Prediction Center is showing above normal conditions for us here in the Bay Area throughout the next 6 to 10 days, and that lines up exactly with what the numbers you see behind me are showing. Upper 80s as we head into next Sunday and Monday. We'll slowly start to see a little bit of a cool down as we head into mid next week. But for now, that heat sticks around, and it's noticeable in the Bay too. 70s each day for us here in the Bay with sunny skies too.
Now to the state's largest fire. It is burning near San Luis Obispo. It's called the Gifford Fire, and it's threatening more than 800 homes and other buildings. It's torched an area nearly 3 times the size of San Francisco. CAL FIRE says the flames burning in the Los Padres National Forest are just about 9% contained. Evacuation orders still in place for parts of San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. Highway 166 remains closed between Highway 101 and Cuyama. Bay Area fire crews are heading down to help tackle these Central Coast flames. Veronica Macias tells us how Marin Fire is joining the fight.
This morning, CAL FIRE says that they have already called in for more resources. Where that help is going to come from, we just don't know yet, but some 700 firefighters potentially heading to help with this massive fire. They say it takes a lot of personnel to fight a fire of this size. We know as of this morning, it's only at 9% containment with growth to the north and the west. And already crews here with the Marin County Fire Department have gone in to help.
We send 9 firefighters on with 2 bulldozers and 2 support units to be able to do 24-hour-a-day operation with those bulldozers in support of the mission to get that fire contained down there.
Marin County Fire tells us that they have sent a bulldozer strike team who is there helping around the clock. Over the weekend, they received a call for help and they immediately deployed. We're told that the Gifford fire is a reminder of how we need to prepare during fire season here at home.
It's just really a tell that we are in fire season. It just doesn't feel like it right now. And we've had a very mild season, but we've had some very damaging fires in Northern California. It's only a matter of time till fire comes to the Bay Area. So we need to be prepared to evacuate, have your go bag, all the things we talk about all year long. It's a great time to go over them again as we're getting into August.
CAL FIRE says those really impacted in the area are ranchers. They've been trying to save their cattle. As far as where the extra help is coming from, we don't quite know yet whether it will be here from Marin or other Bay Area fire departments. We also know that a second base is being set up and there is the potential for a third.
Well, fire crews in Solano County contained this brush fire near the Benicia Martinez Bridge yesterday afternoon. It briefly brought traffic to a halt on Interstate 680. And in Alameda County, CAL FIRE contained this brush fire in Sonol at one point yesterday afternoon. It was burning very close to some power lines near Calaveras Road, but nothing was damaged. It is that time of year when students start heading back to school, ready or not. And today is the first day back for some kids in the East Bay. This is at Castro Valley Elementary this morning, where it is the first day for the district. If the school year snuck up on you, you are certainly not alone. Our photojournalist spoke with some parents and students who told us the summer just flew by.
What do you think, Athena?
Too short.
It was too
short?
I feel that it's a lot shorter now than it was when I went to school.
That's for sure.
I think they're only doing 2 months now when we used to get 3.
It is also back to school today for Mount Diablo Unified, and students at 3 of its elementary schools returned to some big changes on campus. Mount Diablo Elementary, Rio Vista Elementary, and Meadow Homes Elementary went through a year and a half of renovations. The goal was to modernize the schools to better meet the needs of teachers and students. It's not just new paints and windows. The schools got upgraded technology, new emergency response systems, improved ADA accessibility, and more. Parents, students, and staff got a sneak peek yesterday at a ribbon-cutting ceremony at Mount Diablo Elementary.
This just shows like we put our students and our communities at our center, and this is just a small give back that we can give to our students to say, hey, we care about you and we want to create the most up-to-date, practical learning environment possible for you to be able to get educated at our schools.
The renovations were funded by the Measure J bond, which provided $150 million for upgrades and modernization. So along with the Mount Diablo Unified and the Castro Valley Unified School Districts, New Haven Unified, Antioch Unified, and Brentwood Union are all back to school today. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area. Scary news out of the South Bay. Some dogs are getting sick and at least one has died. The mysterious illness plaguing a South Bay dog park. Plus, San Jose police using AI to bridge a gap in the community. Why some critics say it's doing exactly the opposite.
In the Bay Area, a new WNBA franchise is taking flight. Catch this first-in-a-lifetime inaugural season as the Golden State Valkyries play live on KPIX and Pix Plus.
Well, it's a warm day for us here in the Bay Area. We're already up into the mid-90s today for this midweek forecast. Tomorrow it tapers off just a little bit, but then we're in for even warmer weather as we head into Friday. And those 90s are holding on tight to us into this weekend too, especially off into the East Bay. We'll probably catch a break a little bit sooner all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, but let's head over to the Bay real fast. Places like San Francisco and Oakland this afternoon, already in the 70s. And we're holding on tight to 70s as we head into the next couple days. It'll be a very warm Friday for us all throughout the Bay Area.
Nearly half a dozen dogs have gotten sick and one even died after visiting a dog park in the South Bay. We're talking about Novato Dog Park in Santa Clara near Lawrence and Central Expressways. It is now closed as the city tries to figure out what is causing that mystery illness. Katie Nielsen spoke with one neighbor who's upset that the city didn't act faster.
This is the now closed dog park where dog owners first started reporting problems all the way back in June, with some dogs experiencing seizures after coming to the park. One even died. Many dog owners who come here on a regular basis say the city should be doing more, not only to help, but also to warn people.
This one here is Esmeralda, but we just call her Ezzy. Okay. And my little here is Rosemary, but she's just Rosie.
Marianne St. George lives within walking distance of Novato Dog Park in Santa Clara and would come to the park at least 3 to 4 days a week with her 2 dogs, until recently when the city closed the park.
When we first saw the sign, the latch was gone on the gate, and so we assumed it was closed due to vandalism.
In the middle of July, Marianne had to keep her dogs home anyway because both were sick for over a week.
As I just took my dogs to the vet because they had diarrhea. Is it related? I have no idea.
After looking at the sign that talks about the symptoms of this mystery illness that has impacted other dogs, Marianne says she's going to call the city.
I'm concerned. I think it's reasonable to say that my dogs may well be impacted by that same thing.
Representatives with the city of Santa Clara say over the past 2 months, they've received complaints about dogs getting sick after visiting Novato Dog Park. And last week, they got a report of a dog dying the same day as a visit to the park. The city released a statement saying the health and safety of Santa Clara residents, including their 4-legged companions, is a top priority. We do not use pesticides in any of our dog parks, and all are regularly cleaned with pet and eco-friendly products. The city is now doing testing to try to figure out what is making the dogs sick. Marianne says she's relieved the city is investigating, but says it shouldn't have taken so long for it to be addressed.
Whatever it is that happened to the other dogs, hopefully it either wasn't the same thing or they got the mild side of it, but definitely concerned and frustrated.
The city says the dog park has been vandalized a number of times over the past year. So just this week, the city actually installed 2 new security cameras pointing toward the entrance to the dog park. What they don't know is whether the vandalism is connected to these mystery illnesses. The city is doing environmental testing and said the dog park will be closed until they understand what's making the dogs sick so they can make it safe again.
A new video from the CHP shows a tense and dangerous situation that happened in Petaluma this week. Officers from Santa Rosa were called because there was a black SUV swerving along 101 on Monday. The driver reportedly had a 2-year-old toddler in her lap, and she was shouting at other drivers on the freeway. That led to a pursuit going through several cities until the vehicle technology OnStar gradually slowed down the SUV automatically, and the Cadillac Escalade came to a stop near Lakeview Road in Petaluma, where there was then a standoff. Police say the woman got out holding the toddler near a bridge. CHP says she refused to release that child, but while she was distracted during negotiations, officers rushed in, tackled her, and got that child to safety. Nobody was hurt. The woman is now in jail facing child endangerment charges. Hundreds of workers at Stanford are about to lose their jobs. The university cites the loss of $140 million in funding from the federal government under the Trump administration. The school says that 363 jobs will be cut. We don't know at this point which departments are going to be impacted, but those layoffs are going to happen sometime between September 30th and November 1st. All right, we are just 3 days away from the 49ers' first preseason game of the season. They're going to take on the Denver Broncos at Levi Stadium this Saturday, and you can watch that game on KPIX and streaming on Paramount Plus. 49ers have a day off today, but fired up fans came out in force for yesterday's practice. Our Kevin Coe spoke to the diehards, including some who are thinking outside the box.
What's in the box at 49ers training camp? Well, one of the most faithful fans in the Bay.
I came up with this, and it's awesome. Yeah.
George Kittle's coming right
Kittle?
behind you.
Okay.
Kittle's coming right behind you.
Hey, Danny, give me my stuff. Give me my stuff.
We will check back in with Cassidy as he and more than 100 other fans hope to secure a signature. Cassidy and his family are one of many households lucky enough to get a sold-out seat to watch their favorite team.
I'm a Browns fan.
Okay, well, maybe not everyone. Sorry, Sourdough Sam. But Devin's son Oliver is part of the Niner faithful.
What would you say if Sourdough Sam was right behind you right now?
He's great.
Look behind you.
This is what training camp is all about, providing fans and families an up-close experience unlike any game. There's a reason families keep coming back.
Took these kids with me to training camp when had him in Baby Bjorn and all that.
It feels like it was just yesterday I was here.
I want him, to definitely be a Niner fan, diehard Niner fan. Bang, bang, Niner gang, right?
This is Noah. He's the third of the generation right here. He's my little son. He's 7 months old. This is his first outing, so it's exciting for us to have him at the Niners training camp.
Speaking of exciting, let's check back in with George Kittle.
When I saw him right now, I was like, Kittle! The people's tight end in the house!
The president of National Tight Ends Day wasn't able to make it to Cassidy, but he's still grateful for the moment and for others.
Obviously, he's a person too, but it felt kind of unreal. I've never been that close to players before. And it's awesome that they let us go on the field this year. Getting to talk to Upton Stout, just kind of about his come up and just how much of an inspiration he is. That was awesome. He's a great guy.
Cassidy is walking away in his Nick Bosa trading card costume with less autographs than he'd like. But if there's anything to learn at training camp, the true faithful will have another chance.
Oh my goodness, I have hundreds. I've been coming here 40 years.
Again, CBS News Bay Area is your home for 49ers preseason football. You can watch the Niners take on the Broncos this Saturday live on KPIX and streaming on Paramount Plus. Kickoff, 5:30. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, it is a tough time to find a place to rent in San Francisco. How apartment hunters are getting crowded out of a hot market.
Someone said, there's a bid on this apartment already. If you want it, you're going to have to bid as well.
So this midweek warm-up, it's here, guys. And as we head into this afternoon, we're going to see plenty of sunshine throughout most of the Bay, with the exception of the coast holding on tight to those clouds. We'll see some passing clouds just around 3 or 4 o'clock, but other than that, it stays dry and warm for us. Tomorrow morning, we'll see a little bit more mist along the coast, though. That's in the early morning hours, so you might need the windshield wipers for that early morning commute. And I know school is about to come back into session, too, so we might be able to see that as we head into the next couple weeks of those early morning hours as well. But here's the other big story for us. We've been dealing with warm weather, dry conditions, and some breezy conditions too. Now today, the winds are actually a little bit lighter compared to yesterday and the day before, which is good news because fire weather conditions are definitely possible when you factor those three things together. Today, we could see gusts up to around 35 miles per hour into the evening hours tonight near Bodega Bay. San Francisco, a similar trend too. So across the board, we're still dealing with some breezy conditions. But I want to talk about the other big story for us, and it has to do with this heat because it's sticking around for us. We'll get a little bit of a dip in temperatures tomorrow, but then we're right back into the upper 90s by Friday. We'll get a cool down as we head into mid next week, back into the low 80s around the corner as early as Tuesday for our inland spots. Oh man, well, you make your way over into the Bay Area. We're still holding on tight to 70s day after day as we head over into Oakland and San Francisco, but more on that coming up in a bit.
In San Jose, there is a major push to integrate artificial intelligence into the operations of the city government. Yesterday, the police department announced that it's going to use AI translation services to try to better reach the community's Spanish speakers. But as Lauren Toms reports, some people are wondering if the city is taking shortcuts to representation.
I want to make it clear that the San Jose Police Department does not participate in immigration enforcement.
A new message from San Jose Police Chief Paul Joseph is making waves, not just for what he said, but how he said it.
Quiero dejar claro que el Departamento de Policía de San José no participa en la aplicación de leyes de inmigración.
That was the same video, but with an AI-generated Spanish translation using hours of Chief Joseph's voice. It's the first time the San Jose Police Department has used artificial intelligence to send a message to the community in Spanish.
It's just another way, another attempt to try to reach the community and have them really hear what it is we're saying and build that trust. And if hearing me speak it in AI-generated Spanish helps build that trust, then I think it's absolutely the way to go.
With 24% of San Jose households speaking Spanish, the department says the video was about building trust as federal immigration arrests rise across the region. But some members of the community, like immigration organizer Lori Valdez, question why a native Spanish-speaking human within the department couldn't have delivered the same message.
If he couldn't speak it, he should have got one of his officers who can speak it, not use AI. That's like a joke to me. That's just like a slap in the face for the Latino community.
She says while the message matters more than ever, how it's delivered carries more weight.
You can't police community you can't even communicate with. And you can't say you care about them if you're using AI, and other things could come from that.
Chief Joseph knows trust is fragile. He says the department has seen a drop in domestic disturbance reports in recent months, something he worries may be driven by fear of deportation.
If people are afraid that contacting the police when they are the victims of a crime could lead to them being deported, perhaps they would not. So if this helps people to feel that when they need our help, they can call us, it's all worth it.
San Jose is a sanctuary city where local authorities have vowed to not aid in federal immigration enforcement within the city. Even so, Lori says police resources should be used by humans, not AI.
We want real people in our streets who care about our community, that are going to keep them safe, not just the properties, but the people who live in the community.
Chief Joseph says if the AI message is well received, the department could expand its use to translate messages into Vietnamese, Mandarin, or Cantonese, coming straight from the chief.
With this rich, diverse community, all the different languages that are spoken in San Jose, I think this is an opportunity for us to more closely reach the community. So yes, I do see additional future possibilities for this.
And in a city where more than half of households speak a language other than English, the question may not be if police use AI, but how they use it and whether the community truly feels heard.
Well, San Jose's mayor, Matt Mahan, has been a huge promoter of AI technology. The city has now launched courses to train staff to use artificial intelligence in their jobs. Well, it has been called the unofficial landmark of Petaluma, and now the community is coming together to try to save the hatchery neon sign that is on Petaluma Boulevard North. Organizers are putting together a fundraiser that would refurbish the 90-year-old sign. Catherine Reinhardt, who put the fundraiser together, says after all these years, it needs electrical repairs and a new coat of paint. The plan also includes new lettering that would bring back the original baby chicks print.
I think it brings people a lot of joy, just driving by and seeing that little chick there. It's a reminder of our roots as a poultry capital of the egg basket of the world.
Reinhardt says they are looking to raise $22,000, and once they hit that target, restoring the sign should only take about 6 weeks. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, if you have been looking for a new place to rent, you might have been facing some brutal competition.
Someone said, there's a bid on this apartment already. If you want it, you're going to have to bid as well.
Why the market is surging in San Francisco once again.
You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for staying with us this Wednesday. I'm Ann Makovic. Here is another look at some of our news headlines. Breaking news from Georgia, where officials say at least 5 soldiers have been shot at Fort Stewart Army Base. A suspect is in custody. The calls for an active shooter came in just before 8 a.m. and the fort was locked down. The injured soldiers were rushed to the hospital. No update yet on their conditions. Today, President Trump and Apple expected to announce a new $100 billion commitment to boost manufacturing in the U.S. President expected to make that announcement at the White House this afternoon alongside Apple CEO Tim Cook. It is expected to include a new American manufacturing program focused on bringing more of Apple's supply chain and advanced manufacturing to the U.S. That is a big push by the Trump administration, which threatened to impose a 25% tariff on iPhones made outside the U.S. back in May. And 2 women are under arrest after a man was killed outside of a bar in San Jose last month. Police say 22-year-old Raymond Orozco was stabbed. They found him on South 2nd Street in between San Jose State and Plaza de Cesar Chavez. He was brought to the hospital but later died, and now police say these 2 people are responsible. 20-year-old Mercedes Rosales, they say that she killed him, and that 18-year-old Michaela Van was an accessory. They are both from San Jose. Let's get another check on our first alert forecast because it is a sunny August day. Here is meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Warm weather for this Wednesday forecast. That's the trend widespread throughout the Bay Area today. I mean, look at Antioch this afternoon. 97 degrees as high pressure moves in. It's warming us up. It's drying us up. We're going to see sunny skies widespread throughout the Bay today. Even places like Half Moon Bay, I mean, 66 degrees. We're starting to see a little bit of a warm up along the coast too. Now, Santa Rosa this afternoon sitting in the 90s. We have a trickle 90s and 80s widespread throughout the North Bay, but it's a little bit cooler for us off along the coast and off along the peninsula. Mid 80s today into the peninsula, closer to Redwood City, upper 80s all the way down into San Jose, 91 this afternoon in Los Gatos. So all of us throughout the past month, at least in July, we're sitting either at average or below average throughout most of the month, but now we're starting to see this warm up as high pressure builds in. It's also the reason why for the most part we're seeing sunny skies. We'll see some passing clouds this afternoon, but for the most part it's dry, it's warm, relative humidity is low too. And we're starting to see some winds kick up a little bit more into the afternoon hours today, up to around 20, 25 miles per hour in places like San Francisco into the evening hours tonight. A little bit lighter for our friends off into the Santa Clara Valley, the Tri-Valley area, and along the Delta too. So a few days ago, we were dealing with some stronger winds. Now, when you factor strong winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures together, of course, fire weather conditions could be a concern. So right now, we're just keeping a close eye on that, especially as this heat sticks around for the next couple days. The Climate Prediction Center is showing above normal conditions for us here in the Bay Area throughout the next 6 to 10 days, and that lines up exactly with what the numbers you see behind me are showing. Upper 80s as we head into next Sunday and Monday. We'll slowly start to see a little bit of a cool down as we head into mid next week. But for now, that heat sticks around, and it's noticeable in the Bay too. 70s each day for us here in the Bay with sunny skies too.
Well, the city of San Francisco is seeing a dramatic rebound in its rental housing market. That is driven in part by AI startups and demand. Kenny Choi takes a closer look at where those spikes are happening in the city and what that means for anyone looking for a place to call home.
San Francisco's stunning skylines have always been a draw for apartment seekers wanting a view. Bella Otterson, who's been working in tech, found herself in a bidding war for a new place.
At some point, someone said, "There's a bid on this apartment already. If you want it, you're going to have to bid as well."
She started noticing large groups of apartment hunters at some showings around June.
That's when we started to realize it was a lot more difficult.
Analysts say that's typical as the summer search for places picks up. But Otterson says looking for a place last year at the same time was vastly different.
We toured 2 apartments, both of which we could have easily gotten the lease for, and had no problems. Like nothing like the things we're experiencing now.
She posted on TikTok as her months-long search continued.
If you're thinking about apartment searching right now in San Francisco, don't. We've gone to over 10 apartment tours so far. By the time we walk out of these apartment tours, the apartment's basically already spoken for.
One-bedrooms in San Francisco are up 13.3% to $3,400, the highest price since April 2020 and just shy of the pre-pandemic high of $3,500, according to Crystal Chen of Zumper, a digital marketplace for renters and property managers.
San Francisco is having a rental resurgence right now, and that's likely driven by a surge in AI-related hiring, stricter return to office policies, and just, I think, a general revived appetite for urban living.
Zumper's latest national rent index shows either flat or declining rates across the board, but San Francisco led the nation in annual rent growth. 2 bedrooms are up 16.3% to nearly $4,800. Not seen since August 2019.
Areas close to the city's downtown area, which is, where many offices are typically located, like Mission Bay, Soma, Hayes Valley, Civic Center. All of those neighborhoods saw rents grow in the double digits annually.
For Otterson, her 4-month-long search recently came to an end.
I treat it the same you would as a job search. Be on time, write a cover letter, show them that you're going to be a great resident, and be looking all the time, every day.
She and 2 roommates have found a 3-bedroom apartment they love, but the search wasn't an easy one.
Well, Zumper says rents on homes with 3 bedrooms in San Francisco are also up 15%, and rents on homes with 4 bedrooms are up 17%. Well, some of the Texas Democrats who left the state to protest a redistricting bill were temporarily evacuated from a hotel in the Chicago area where they are staying. Police and lawmakers say that was because of a bomb threat. The bomb squad searched the area and did not find anything. Illinois' governor promised to investigate the threats and to hold someone accountable. More than 50 Texas Democrats left the state to try to stop their Republican colleagues from redrawing congressional maps. Texas Governor Greg Abbott filed a lawsuit with the state Supreme Court to remove Representative Gene Wu from office, calling him the ringleader of the self-imposed exile.
This is just purely insanity. First of all, this is not my seat, and it's sure as hell not Governor Abbott's seat. This seat belongs to the people of the state of Texas. What we're looking at is a governor who is conspiring with a disgraced president to use unconstitutional, illegal racial gerrymandering to destroy our communities.
Well, here in California, Governor Newsom is calling to redraw California's maps to counter the moves by Texas. To get that done in our state, the governor needs a special session and a vote of the people.
The ultimate determination will be by the people of the state of California. We will offer them the opportunity to make judgment for themselves. Again, only if Texas moves forward. They've triggered this response, and we're not going to roll over, and we're going to fight fire with fire.
The Texas GOP's proposed map could shift the balance of power in Washington, D.C., potentially expanding the Republican slim majority in the House by eliminating 5 Democratic U.S. House seats ahead of the 2026 midterms. Today marks 80 years since the United States dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. It eventually brought an end to World War II. That bomb decimated the city, killing about 140,000 people and causing thousands more deaths due to injuries and radiation-related illnesses. 3 days later, the U.S. dropped a second atomic bomb on Nagasaki, killing another 75,000 people. This morning in Japan, people went to Hiroshima's Memorial Park to commemorate those who lost their lives. Several burned incense, prayed, some brought their families to try to pass on the memories to the next generation. The destructive power of nuclear weapons inspired a group called Veterans for Peace to advocate for a nuclear-free world. And yesterday, they sailed their boat, named the Golden Rule, into San Francisco. It is spending the month of August touring ports around the Bay Area. It's a 34-foot ketch first built in the 1950s. It's been used to sail around the world. The peace activists say the threat of nuclear war is rising.
There's now 9 nuclear-armed nations around the world. Many of them are in conflict with one another. And instead of moving towards getting rid of all the nuclear weapons, as all these countries agreed to when they signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty back in 1970, they're building more and more.
Well, if you want to learn more about the Golden Rule, they are screening a new documentary on Sunday at the new Parkway Theater in Oakland. Coming up next, as the 49ers gear up for their first preseason game this Saturday, we are checking with Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, how their lives have changed since becoming new dads.
In the Bay Area, a new WNBA franchise is taking flight. Catch this first-in-a-lifetime inaugural season as the Golden State Valkyries play live on KPIX and Pix Plus.
Well, it's a warm day for us here in the Bay Area. We're already up into the mid-90s today for this midweek forecast. Tomorrow it tapers off just a little bit, but then we're in for even warmer weather as we head into Friday. And those 90s are holding on tight to us into this weekend too, especially off into the East Bay. We'll probably catch a break a little bit sooner all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, but let's head over to the Bay real fast. Places like San Francisco and Oakland this afternoon, already in the 70s. And we're holding on tight to 70s as we head into the next couple days. It'll be a very warm Friday for us all throughout the Bay Area.
We are just 3 days away from the Niners taking on the Broncos in the first preseason game at Levi Stadium. You can watch that on KPIX and streaming on Paramount Plus. Kickoff at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. Levi Stadium in Santa Clara has the 49ers full-time home. It's been that since 2014. That is, Vern Glenn shows us. One member of the team spent his summer in San Francisco to prepare for the upcoming season.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers will have an off day, and then the Denver Broncos come to town for a joint practice on Thursday ahead of Saturday's preseason game. Right tackle Colton McKivitz says he's in the best shape of his career after spending the offseason running the hills of San Francisco. McKivitz went up and down Vallejo Street, just like our own Matt Lively and Lorenzo Neal attempted to do last summer.
They just kind of wave, and then they're like, you know, can I run with you? And sure enough, like 50-year-old guy comes running, and a couple other marathon runners with us, so they sprint up the hill, and I try chasing after them, but super polite, and they kind of give you a weird stare, but you're dodging Waymos and bikes, but it's just a cool place to work, and I think I was up there 4 to 5 times a week.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Meantime, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey probably won't be spending a lot of time on the field on Saturday, but Vern tells us they're going to get to test their new dad strength when the Broncos come to town.
I feel like every day somebody's having a kid, man. So, hey, let's just keep it rolling.
Christian McCaffrey's wife, Olivia, gave birth to the couple's first child, Colette McCaffrey, another CMC. And that also happens to be Claire Kittle's middle name.
So George Kittle was just here. And we thought it was really cool that you named your daughter after his wife.
That was complete coincidence. We had no idea, but hey, she's got a great name.
And then a few weeks later, the Purdys welcomed their first child, Millie Jolene Purdy.
I don't know if Shanahan will go for it, but Millie could be like a check down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
Millie. Oh, he's changed the play.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a play that I can audible to and we can score a touchdown on. So we might have to save that name for a really good play.
Purdy has no problem taking chances with a football, but it's a much different game plan with his baby girl.
I'm more cautious with things and doors and hallways. Like when we're holding our baby, it's just like you're now thinking about this baby and protecting it all the time.
Brock can handle the play calls, but CMC may have some new material for the rest of the offense.
I'll be the supplier of the dad jokes for sure. I mean, I've been a dad joke guy for a while now. My wife gets sick of it, but just more jokes in the arsenal, the better.
I got 2 to leave you with.
All right.
I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now.
That's funny.
It is funny.
It's a good joke.
And what did one slice of bread say to the other before a race?
What?
You're toast.
That's pretty good.
So there you go.
That's good.
Yeah, there's 2 good ones.
Those are good ones. I'll write those down and keep
No,
them
you
with
won't.
me. I'll write them on my brain.
Oh boy. All right. CBS News Bay Area is your home for Niners preseason football. You can watch the Niners take on the Broncos this Saturday live on KPIX and streaming on Paramount Plus. Kickoff at 5:30. Golden State Valkyries are out for payback against the Aces tonight at Chase Center. You can watch that game live on Pix Plus. Tonight's game could be crucial to what the roster looks like. The WNBA's trade deadline is tomorrow, and head coach Natalie Nakasi has been playing with lineups as the team deals with several injuries. If the team wins tonight, they could roll with what they got and continue their push for the playoffs. But if they lose, it's going to be more pressure to make changes, and the Valkyries have some cap space to work with. We're going to keep an eye on that. Again, you can watch the Golden State Valkyries take on the Las Vegas Aces tonight. Pix Plus, 44 Cable 12. Our coverage starts at 6:30. And if that is not enough basketball for you, we also have the WNBA doubleheader this Saturday on Pix Plus. First, the Valkyries taking on the Los Angeles Sparks. Then it is the Chicago Sky facing the red-hot Indiana Fever, which has won 5 straight games without the injured Caitlin Clark. Coverage starts at 5 p.m. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, we are going to show you how some members of Gen Z are getting a crash course in workplace etiquette after their adolescent years were upended by the pandemic.
People will really expect you to know things, or they're annoyed when you don't know things that you've never actually been taught.
Hi, good morning.
So this midweek warm-up, it's here, guys. And as we head into this afternoon, we're going to see plenty of sunshine throughout most of the bay, with the exception of the coast holding on tight to those clouds. We'll see some passing clouds just around 3 or 4 o'clock, but other than that, it stays dry and warm for us. Tomorrow morning, we'll see a little bit more mist along the coast, though. That's in the early morning hours, so you might need the windshield wipers for that early morning commute. And I know school is about to come back into session, too, so we might be able to see that as we head into the next couple weeks of those early morning hours as well. But here's the other big story for us. We've been dealing with warm weather, dry conditions, and some breezy conditions too. Now today, the winds are actually a little bit lighter compared to yesterday and the day before, which is good news because fire weather conditions are definitely possible when you factor those 3 things together. Today, we could see gusts up to around 35 miles per hour into the evening hours tonight near Bodega Bay. San Francisco, a similar trend too. So across the board, we're still dealing with some breezy conditions. But I want to talk about the other big story for us, and it has to do with this heat because it's sticking around for us. We'll get a little bit of a dip in temperatures tomorrow, but then we're right back into the upper 90s by Friday. We'll get a cool down as we head into mid next week, back into the low 80s around the corner as early as Tuesday for our inland spots. Oh man, well, you make your way over into the Bay Area. We're still holding on tight to 70s day after day as we head over into Oakland and San Francisco. But more on that coming up in a bit.
Gen Z now makes up almost 1/5 of the U.S. labor force, and that number is only growing. But after years of lockdowns and living life online, many younger hires are struggling with face-to-face basics. Our Itai Hodge shows us how some Bay Area companies are trying to improve the workplace with a crash course on etiquette.
Hello, my name is Cindy Seed.
For years, etiquette coach Cindy Seed trained power players on the art of the business lunch.
Welcome.
But these days, many of those same companies are bringing her back
Take a seat, everybody.
to teach their Gen Z hires
Don't be putting your rear end too far back.
the fundamentals of professional behavior.
Nowadays, kids are provided with almost anything that they want. As a result, there's less struggle. You must wait.
Tonight, she's serving up those lessons at Palm House, a popular restaurant in San Francisco where for once the main course isn't chicken or fish,
And bring it back
but good manners.
down, across the top, lift up, and eat from the side of the spoon.
From how to eat your soup without spilling
If I do it low,
to breaking bread without leaving a trail of crumbs.
there you go.
It may sound like small potatoes, but according to Katie Yip, a 23-year-old cybersecurity analyst, her generation has spent much of their adolescence in lockdown, missing out on everyday life lessons.
People will really expect you to know things, or they're annoyed when you don't know things that you've never actually been taught.
And it's not just about what to order at lunch. Some show up to work in sweats, others skip deodorant, and more than a few have texted in sick with nothing but a skull emoji. A recent survey found that 26% of Gen Zers brought their parents to a job interview. Some even let them answer questions.
Some people might look at this and say, why do we need to teach people to take showers every day?
Because no one else did.
David Rice from People Managing People, a leading platform for HR professionals, says while there's been friction between Gen Z and the traditional workplace, there's also a lot to admire.
They believe in work-life boundaries. They believe in having, a certain level of reward for their work. And they're only going to give you what you reward them for. And I do respect them for that.
Because knowing how to use a fork or spoon isn't just for dinner parties. It's about setting the table for career success.
So Gen Z refers to people born between 1997 and 2012, though some definitions stretch a few years in either direction. Thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. We're going to be right back with your first alert forecast and another look at your top stories.